So the Ace is simply the most famous motor diner on the planet. It's been around since 1938. It was notorious in bikes, cars, and rock and roll, and mostly I'd say the 50s and the 60s. Kids, when they came to the Ace, because it was open 24 hours a day, were riding bikes. They were taking them apart, they were redoing them, putting them back together, making, hence the term cafe racers. They were just simply racing from cafe to cafe. And the Ace is the only calf left standing. So it's almost 80 years old now. We will be celebrating our 80th anniversary in 2018. And because the Ace had one of the first jukeboxes in London, guys like Gene Vincent and Eddie Cochran, and even the Beatles would go and visit the Ace to listen to the chord changes and the lyrics of songs. Because if you think about it, where else could they get records? American records. Because the British kids were so influenced by American culture, not only in what they were riding, but also leather jackets and music, that they would influence a whole generation of riders and of kids and of musicians that would eventually return to the U.S. in the form of the British invasion. So when you think about Elvis and Johnny Cash and Jerry Lee Lewis and guys like Eddie Cochran and Gene Vincent and Tony Sheridan and these guys, all of them were influencing these kids. They'd bring it back to us, and hence rock and roll, right? So the Ace has a very cool, iconic and authentic connection to that spirit and history and culture. Maybe you would call it the rebel culture, which is really cool now to see it still living. So this Ace here is going to be the first Ace in North America ever. We're going to be in downtown Orlando. We'll hopefully open before the end of 2016. And with that, we'll have 3 acres of what we call a motor-centric destination, celebrating 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 3 wheels even. Doesn't matter whether it's new, old, used, a DIY, a calf racer, a British bike, a new bike, you name it, cars, hot rods, muscle cars, everything. New product launches, hybrids, electrics. It's just a gathering place for those that are inspired by a love of metal and a little bit of rubber and maybe a bit of noise.